The day began like any other in the bustling space colony of Erythra, 7. Humans and aliens coexisted under a fragile alliance, trading goods, knowledge, and occasionally, marriage arrangements designed to strengthen political bonds. For Jalen Crow, a 24-year-old human engineer, it was supposed to be just another routine day at the colony's main hydroplant. But life has a peculiar way of turning ordinary mornings into life-altering events. Jalen was elbow-deep in a tangle of copper wires when Commander Vari's voice crackled over the comm system. Jalen Crow, report to the council chamber immediately. This is not a drill. Heart racing, Jalen wiped his hands and sprinted toward the gleaming council hall. As he entered, the sight that greeted him froze his breath. A solitary figure stood at the center of the chamber. A tall alien woman, her skin a luminous shade of violet, her eyes deep gold that seemed to pierce right through him. Beside her, the council elders murmured among themselves, glancing at him with a mixture of pity and expectation. Jalen Crow, Commander Vari said solemnly. This is Lady Kythara. You are to marry her. Effective immediately. Jalen blinked, certain he had misheard. Excuse me. Lady Kythara's lips curved into a faint, knowing smile. I understand this is unusual, she said, her voice melodic, almost hypnotic. But the council has decided. Our union will strengthen the alliance between your people and mine. I hope you will see the wisdom in this. Jalen's mind raced. Kythara was clearly much older than him. By decades, as the colony records later confirmed. 33 years older, in fact. His protests died in his throat as the council's stern gazes anchored him in place. There would be no arguing. The wedding was swift, almost ceremonial in its efficiency. Jalen was dressed in the colony's formal garb, stiff collars and all, while Kythara glided down the aisle in robes that shimmered like liquid starlight. There were no cheering crowds. Only the silent acceptance of a population used to such political arrangements. As the officiant pronounced them bonded, Jalen felt a strange mixture of fear and curiosity. The first nights in Kythara's quarters were awkward. The alien woman's habits were unfamiliar. Her home filled with artifacts that hummed with ancient energy. She moved with a grace that made Jalen feel clumsy in comparison. You need not fear me, she said one night, as they shared a sparse meal of synthesized protein and alien fruit. I will not demand more than you can give. But I must know who you are truly. Days turned into weeks, and the initial tension began to dissolve. Jalen found himself fascinated by Kythara's stories of her homeworld, of civilizations that had risen and fallen over millennia, of stars being born in distant nebulae. He learned to navigate her world, to appreciate her subtle humor and her unshakable wisdom. Then came the incident. A routine maintenance run outside the colony was interrupted by a meteor storm. Jalen's shuttle was damaged, leaving him stranded in orbit. Kythara, in a display of speed and precision that belied her years, piloted a rescue craft through the violent debris, reaching him just as oxygen levels in his shuttle dipped dangerously low. Back on the colony, as they watched the shattered meteors fall into the atmosphere like sparks, Jalen realized something astonishing. He trusted her with his life. Not out of duty, not out of fear, but because he genuinely admired her courage. And when she smiled at him, a small, genuine smile, he felt a warmth he had never known. The months that followed saw a gradual transformation. Their bond deepened in ways the council could not have anticipated. Jalen discovered that age in Kythara's species was not a barrier to vitality or affection. Her experience and calm perspective complemented his youthful impulsiveness, creating a partnership that surprised even themselves. Then the colony faced a new threat. A rogue faction from a neighboring star system launched a surprise attack, aiming to seize control of Erythra 7's Hydra plant. Panic erupted, alarms blared, and the colony scrambled to mount a defense. Jalen and Kythara fought side by side. He operated the energy relays while she led the defensive drones, coordinating strikes with a precision that left him breathless. When the last of the intruders fled, defeated and humiliated, the colony erupted in cheers. Jalen and Kythara stood together on the observation deck, surveying the damage and the resilience of their people. In that moment, something undeniable sparked between them. Words were unnecessary. Their shared trials had built a connection stronger than fear, stronger than obligation. Weeks later, in a quiet corner of the colony's botanical gardens, Jalen finally spoke the words he had been holding back. "I never expected this," he admitted, watching the soft glow of alien blossoms illuminate Kythara's face. "I never expected to care for anyone like this. Especially not someone so much older than me." Kythara laughed softly, the sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "I never expected to feel this either," she replied. "But life has a way of surprising even the most prepared among us." And then, in a gesture that shocked even the colony's elders, they kissed. Not as a political arrangement, not as a forced duty, but as two beings who had chosen each other despite every obstacle. From that day forward, Jalen Crow and Lady Kythara became more than a symbol of interstellar diplomacy. They became a testament to the unpredictability of life, to the strength of trust, and to the astonishing truth that love often comes when least expected, and from the most unexpected places. In the end, the union that began as a forced marriage became something far greater. A partnership of equals, bound not by duty alone, but by courage, respect, and an affection that bridged not only species but generations. And while no one in the colony could have predicted it, Jalen and Kythara proved that the heart has its own rules, far older and wiser than any council or decree.